This is ENS Insider, brought to you by the Face of Fun Committee and probably every other committee in ENS, with your hosts Cameron Maves and Danielle Coleman. That's right, everybody. Welcome to the ENS Insider. Just like the introduction you just heard said, this is brought to you by the Face of Fun Committee and probably every other committee in ENS, because we're just going to try to have a real collaborative effort here, bringing you the inside scoop on some of ENS' finest. If any of you have been on a meet and greet before, you know we do an icebreaker with our leaders, and we want to kind of carry that tradition over into our podcast, where we're not only going to interview leaders, we're going to interview everyday folks like some of you and me and Danielle. Right, Danielle?
I mean, I'm not nearly as cool as you, but I'm going to get there one day. So yes.
That's right. So the whole point of this is just to kind of give you a look into some of our fabulous leaders and coworkers. And I don't think we could have started with a better guest. I don't know. We might be biased because we work with Ian, but Ian Rowland, ladies and gentlemen, our first guest on the ENS Insider.
Woo-hoo! Thank you. Glad to be here.
Awesome. Well, we're glad to have you. And just to kind of give you an overview, as well as our first time listeners and watchers, because this is our first time too, if you can't tell, we're gonna talk to you a little bit about your life at Paychex, and then the rest of it's not really about that. We want to get to know you, Paychex, and just you as Ian. So the first thing we want to start off with, I know you've told this a million times probably, we're going to try to give you a bit of a challenge here and give you a 2-minute timer to go with, but we want to see if you can sum up your life. And you can start with your Paychex career. Congratulations on 25 years, by the way.
I know.
Thank you.
Sum up, your Paychex life for us in 2 minutes, starting now.
Oh, my Paychex life in 2 minutes. Holy cow. It's going to have to be rapid fire here. So I'll stick with the Paychex life of it. So I started, as you know, 25 years ago. I started right here in ENS. I started in tax services. The roles were a little bit different than what they are today, but that's where I started. I spent several years moving through the different roles and covering all gamuts of everything from quarter end and year end to packing and filing the daily stuff to setting up clients, you name it. And then I moved into a leadership role in tax services, and from there moved on. I moved into a manager role in tax services for a while. Moved out of tax services into shared services, a little bit different than what it is today. That's where I was introduced to our print fulfillment operations. And then we did a consolidation of a couple of print centers here in Rochester. Dabbled in the printing business, which is super ironic, not related to Paychex, but my dad was in printing. So we were both working in printing, two very different worlds apart. And what we were doing, but it was super interesting to talk to my dad about what I was doing, what he was doing. And then I moved back into ENS as part of the fulfillment center, and then started our organization here of the emerging products, as it was named previously. Now the bigger group, ENS Product Services, and that's where we are today. Am I even close to 2 minutes?
You have 17 seconds left.
Oh, that's pretty good.
Never heard you talk that fast.
I don't know if I've ever tried to sum that timeline up into that quick of a statement. So,
well, if anyone missed anything in that, they can go back and rewind. That's the beauty of videos.
Right.
There's your timer.
Slow it down a bit.
Slow it down. Maybe do like 0.5 speed and listen back. With the internet, anything's possible. So
It's true. So true.
Awesome. Well, thank you, Ian. That's a good view into your Paychex life. I do have another Paychex related question before we go on to the other stuff. So with being in your position, you're kind of a big dog. So with that, I imagine comes like you get to go on like work trips, vendor trips. Have you ever have you gotten to go on any like really cool vendor trips or anything?
Yeah, so boy, I have traveled quite a bit over the years. In this role specifically, I'll say we work with a lot of vendors. Um, so we do a lot of what we call business reviews with them. So I've been fortunate to be able to travel for work. It's not all it's cracked up to be, so don't think that it's just all play and you
Sure.
get to go sightseeing everywhere. Um, but there's a lot of long days where you're in the office all the time meeting, and then you have dinner, so you're on, right? Like it's not like you get to get your car, drive home, and you kind of wind down and you get to do you.
Right.
Yeah, I've been to quite a few interesting places. One I will say, which I thought was like super cool, was I did get to go to Salt Lake City.
Oh, neat.
Had never been there before in my life, and we were kind of like in the valley, like, and you saw the snow on the tops of the mountains, and but you were down, and it was still sunny down in the valley. We did go up to where I forget the film festival that's up in the mountains, but um,
Mm.
I think Robert Redford is part of that, whatever it is. But we went to this cool restaurant at a ski resort that was there, and that was like super cool to me. Like we were driving through these huge mountains to get to where we had to go, but that was a super cool trip just to see from the view
Awesome.
perspective because I'd never been there, never,
Right.
never, never been out there.
Yeah, I remember seeing that film festival on E Network when I used to watch E television a lot. So
I mean, it wasn't going on when we were there. That would have been even cooler,
yeah,
but just to be able to Sundance, I think it's called Sundance.
yeah.
That's
So
what it is. Yes.
Yes.
Yes, 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 that's it.
so when you're there, do they like like rent you cars and stuff like that? Or do you guys have to Uber around a lot?
Yeah, so it depends. Like back in the day when I first started traveling, we always had to rent cars.
Mhm.
Now with Uber, it makes it a lot easier, especially when I'll say I use Uber a lot more when I go to larger cities. So I don't have to worry about parking. And it's actually quite easy to transport around via Uber in other cities. It's pretty quick and easy. I like that. And I don't have to worry about having to park a car or pay for parking at hotels or pay attention to where I'm driving.
Danielle's never used an Uber.
I've never used an Uber, never
You've
once.
never used an Uber.
No, and it's funny because I travel quite a bit, but I just never do. And part of it is my husband's used them and he's had like some funny experiences, and I feel like that's all people ever have. I mean, like something funny happens every time. So, anything like that ever happened to you, Ian?
Oh, well, I'm sure. I probably can't remember all of them. I've had interesting non-business related Uber rides. Um, but I don't think anything too crazy on a work trip.
Well, I'll tell you, we've got a couple work Uber stories for you.
For you?
From a pretty reliable source.
Have you ever had like a fashion mishap on an Uber ride?
Oh, yes, yes, yeah, you have a very reliable source. So I did have a fashion mishap, absolutely. Do you want me to explain the fashion mishap to
I
everyone?
mean,
Is that
people want to know. This is the
people
stuff
want to
people
know?
want to know.
All right, I'll try to make it pretty straightforward. I went to go see one of our vendors, FinFit. So I flew in, took an Uber from the airport to my hotel. Had a stop at a convenience store on the way to grab some gum, and so I had them stop really quick. And I didn't want to leave my laptop bag in the car, so I took it in with me, kind of put it over backpack style. And then I went to get back in the Uber, forgot that I had my backpack, and started to get in. And they also had on their seats kind of like this vinyl, like a covering on the seats, which did not slide. So you couldn't like slide in. Um, And so I got in, I like was like all hemmed up, and so I get into the hotel. I check in. I'm in. There's people around. I have a bag with me that I had to set down, pick up. I get in the elevator, go to my room, um, only to find out that I split the back of my pants, probably about that far. And I was in the hotel lobby checking in and picking up and moving my bag forward. So I was bending over the whole time, standing in front of people in the elevator. So it was quite the moment. I think I turned the deepest shade of purple, and I was by myself in my hotel room. I started sweating. I was like, oh my gosh, I can't believe what happened.
Oh,
Oh man, I
that's
love it.
amazing. Way,
I gotta
way
tell you
better
when I,
than.
oh, sorry, Cam.
Oh, go ahead.
I was gonna say when I was told this story, I was like, oh man, I don't know if he's gonna be able to tell it better, but you did. You
You
did.
did.
It's hilarious.
That was an experience. See, I didn't come to mind right out of the gate because I blocked that out of my memory.
That's
Rightfully
fun.
so. Well, now it's fresh in there again. So
Yeah.
sorry.
Oh, that's funny.
Well, yeah. I mean, that's a great story. I would tell it all the time,
Really?
honestly. I might sub myself into that story sometime. That was great.
Go ahead and use it. Maybe it'll change over time and it'll become it happened to Cam and not me. So
Yeah, become a fable or something, whatever they
Right.
call those. Awesome. I feel like we've reached that point, because we're not trying to keep people watching for an hour or anything like that. We could talk to you for an hour, but I feel like Danielle, what do you think? Are we ready for our 10 questions for Ian?
Yeah, let's do it. Let's do it.
All right, Ian. So what we're gonna do now? These are questions we're gonna ask everybody. Again, you're the guinea pig. You're our go-to, first guy. So
You're a brave man.
you're a brave man. There's nothing too crazy here. I don't want to scare you off, but we just want you to think of something when you hear these, kind of like a quick answer. You know what I mean? Quick question, kind of quick answer. So it's so you don't have too much time to think about it. All right.
sounds good. I'm ready.
All right. The first question, number one, what is your favorite word?
That's so hard. Favorite word? Wow, how do you answer that? Um, this isn't very quick. A favorite
Sorry.
word?
That's okay.
Um, hello?
That's a good one. Friendly.
Friendly.
Yeah. What's your least favorite word?
Ooh, my least favorite word. My sister-in-law says it. I'm trying to come up with it. It's her enunciation of it that drives me nuts. And I can't come up with it. This is not good. I'm not doing well for this segment
You're
of it.
great.
We're
You're
unfiltered.
the
so it's
blueprint
great.
for everyone else to follow. So now
Yeah, so you're gonna have to edit some of this out to make it better. Um, I guess I'm gonna have to switch my least favorite word to it's kind of too much together. Shut up.
Oh, that's a good one. Well, that's a one. That's a good one.
we'll give it to you. All right. What excites you?
What excites me? Can I have multiple answers?
Sure.
Sure.
And I'm gonna go the personal route because you made me go all work at first.
Sure.
Uh, family. I love my family. I'm excited tonight. My daughter has her senior night for cross country. Family, my kids. That's what excites me.
Awesome.
Awesome. What bums you out?
Oh, rain.
Me
It's a
too.
good one.
Too.
Yesterday afternoon, got a good
Mhm.
15 minutes of it or so, coming down hard.
Yeah.
It's here. What sound or noise do you love?
Oh, there's probably a few people on my team that would say I like to say like I make noises when I talk. I'll say like bloop or like just like boop. And there was, so that would probably go with that.
That's a really good one. What is a sound or noise that you hate?
Nails on a chalkboard.
Classic.
Yeah. But it's really bad. Like it bothers me.
It is. Ugh. Can feel it. I'll just say you can plead the fifth on this next one if you want, but I'm intrigued.
Yeah.
You can use just a letter if you want, but
Yep.
what's your favorite curse word?
Oh. It has such an effect. It's the effect of it. I don't say it all the time, but it might start with the letter F.
I agree with you. Sometimes it's the only, that would be mine too. It's the only one that really sometimes fits a very specific moment.
Right.
Yeah.
Like when
I don't say it. I like it. Right. You know, in this moment. I have
When
kids, remember. Earmuffs.
Right.
when it's like 11 o'clock at night and you're trying to go to bed, but you open the attic door for something, your cat runs up there, you might yell that really loud. Like last night, for example. Maybe that happened. I don't know.
Maybe.
All right, got it. Good answer, Ian. All right, Danielle, you're up.
What profession other than your own would you like to attempt?
Ooh. I will, so it's maybe not in a profession space, but I'd love to be a small business owner just for like we serve them, right? And not to get hokey as of what we do, but we serve those businesses. And I think it's really hard. And so I think it'd be a fun, exciting, but very challenging thing to do.
Absolutely.
Hard for sure.
Well- What profession would you not like to do?
Construction. At least if it's the manual part. I mean, I almost could change my answer for my first one. I used to, when I went to Brockport College, and during the summer, I worked on the grounds crew, and I got to drive all like the heavy equipment, like backhoes, payloaders, bobcats, like all. It was so much fun. So I would do that again because that was just fun. But I I don't think I would weather very well in the manual construction anymore. I just don't think I could do it.
Me neither.
It's cold, like because it's a year round, so you get the super hot. You don't get to go into temperature controlled areas, right? You are
True.
dealing with the elements, and I don't deal with the elements well.
I don't blame
I
you.
live in Rochester.
Bring it home, Danielle.
All right. So when people look back on your life, what do you want them to say about you?
Oh, that's a great question because but it's something I guess I always think about. Like I want people to look back and say that I was a kind, caring person that was truly focused on family and just a positive spirit, I guess. I don't want to say anything bad. So I try not to do bad things, and I try not to say that other word that begins with an F too much
All
in
right.
front of other people. I mean, some people probably hear it, but just I was a good person. That's all I can ask for. And that's what my wife and I talk about for our kids. We just want them to be good people. We want people to see them as good people. Doesn't matter what they do in life, as long as they're positive and they're good.
Awesome.
Perfect.
Good answer. Really good.
Great answer. Great answer. I think that's gonna do it, right, Danielle?
Yeah,
Anything
I think
else?
so. I think it was great, personally.
Yeah.
Well, I appreciate it. I'll come up with a word that my sister-in-law pronounces, and I'll have to let you know that so you can
Please
either
do.
bring it into another podcast or whatever. I can't, it's escaping me. It was there when you first started talking, then it escaped me, but
It
this was
happened.
fun. I appreciate it. It was,
Well,
Thank you.
even though I was on the hot seat and now everybody gets to know, they get to learn from me.
Yep.
Hopefully, you're going to change up the questions so it's not so easy for them in the future. Just hint, hint, like
Yeah.
I want to see somebody else stammer through just like I did out of the gate.
You did a great job though, stammer and all.
Yep. And the next guest, we won't give away who it is, but I think they're gonna have a good time, and we might be able to get some information from you on them too. I'm just thinking. I won't say who it is, but we might be able to, we'll figure.
Sounds good to me. I'm willing to share. Somebody was willing to share on me, so I'll be willing to share.
That's what we're looking for.
There you go. Danielle, do you have a hint on who the next guest is? I know we talked about it, and you remember better than I do. So
Yeah, so our guest has they were once locked in a fire exit at the Canal View building and had to be rescued by a fellow employee. So should be interesting.
I can't remember if that happened more than once, though. I know the individual. I just can't happen to remember if it happened more than once.
Oh,
well, I
that's
guess
great.
we'll have to find out.
Yeah.
On the
We
next.
will. We
Yes.
will. I'm excited for that.
Awesome. Well, thank you again. Anyone watching, listening, if you're interested in being on the ENS Insider, or someone you want to nominate for us, let us know. We're going to have the information in the email to do so. But thank you again, Ian.
Yeah.
Thank you again,
Thank
Danielle.
you.
Of course.
Appreciate it.
All right. Well, ENS Insider out. All right.
Bye.